Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming. Okay, tonight let's continue with Master Shenhua's Chan Qi instructions. All right, let's get started.
大约是在民国37年春天的时候，我从上海坐船呢到汉口去。
This took place around the spring of the 37th year of the Republic era, 1948. I took a boat from Shanghai to Hankou.
从汉口就一直到广东去见这个虚老。
Then, from Hankou to Guangdong to visit old monk Xu.
Xu Lao, is it elder Xu, maybe, rather than old monk? What do you think? Chinese people, help us out. I think it's elder Xu, Master Xu Yun. It's not old monk. Lao here has a colloquial, has a familiarity. It's not old at all. So I would call it elder Xu. Okay. Minor detail. Continue, please.
当时在中国这个有船的人呢，因为常常呢遇到这个风浪呢，这个船就会沉。
At that time, in China, owners of boats often encountered winds and waves that capsized the boats.
所以有的信佛的有船的人呢，就发愿呢，方便给这个出家人，凡是出家人。
So, some Buddhist owners vowed to give convenience to left-home people.
坐他那个船呢都不要钱，并且还供养吃的东西。
The boat ride for any left-home people was free. Not only that, they also made offerings. They offered food.
我在上海到汉口这一段的路啊，也是搭这一种船，不要钱的船，因为根本就没有钱，根本也没有钱。
From Shanghai to Hankou, I took this kind of boat, free boat, because I absolutely had no money.
Stop. Okay, so it's interesting. This is a very interesting point with Master Shenhua, the way he cultivated. Back then, it seems to be the case that he had to go to Hankou on the way to see Elder Xu Yun to receive instruction from Master Xu Yun about his next career moves. And through his personal cultivation, Master Shenhua would share whatever money he had with his fellow monks. Okay, it's commonplace. I remember at other places where he received a lot of money donations, and he would take the train, and the other monks were poorer, didn't have any money, so he would pay for their food, for their stuff, and then even gave them money for when the other monks asked for it. Okay, so this is very interesting. To me, when you are on your own like that, with no support, no really anyone looking after you or supporting you, typically nowadays when you see a monk traveling long distance, you usually have a Dharma protector, someone who comes along, whether it's a junior monk or nun or a lay person. Typically a lay person will come along if you come from a temple. And yet Master YongHua has been traveling a lot and he helped a lot of people, and yet he would travel long distances with no money in his pocket and refused to save money for his journey. That's incredible. Think about it. This man is so pure because his money to us is supposed to be something dirty, not pure. So there's no point in saving it or accruing it, even though you need it. He would not even save it. So not only is he impure, but also the fact that when he did that, his mind is totally free from what? Greed. So as left home people, they have this thing about money and about the rule about not saving things. Okay, so that even though, for example, right now it's no sales right now because everyone's crazy buying Christmas gifts. No sale whatsoever. I've been scouting the internet. There's no sale whatsoever. You have to wait until after Christmas. And then you have all these returns. Okay? You laugh right now. Yeah. Wait till you see your credit card bill. Some of my disciples have been spending like crazy. Why? Can't you wait until after Christmas? Anyway, so the monks usually are taught to avoid hoarding, avoid storing things, and that's I find it to be an excellent practice. You don't want to encumber yourself with material things. Even in our world, the clothing we have, the things we have, the personal possessions, typically we cannot have more than one. Okay, except for the 3 sashes. 3 sashes are 5 sashes, 7-piece sash, and then a 9-piece sash, and that's about it. And under Shakyamuni Buddha, the monks were allowed to keep 3 sashes, and that's it. They would have nothing else in terms of possessions. No iPad, no iPhone, no nothing. Okay, and now because we're weaker, we are finding ourselves needing more things. So that's why when I hear this story about Master YongHua, I was so impressed. He needed nothing whatsoever. Not even money for traveling. And if you have no money, what happens when you're hungry? So I guess he would have to go beg for food or whatever. Or you have money for transportation. What do you do? If you have money, if you need to buy medication, what are you going to do? Okay, so it's just fascinating to me. This monk here is so poor. It's incredible, the kind of detachment he has for worldly things, even the things that he needed for his work. See how pure he is as a monk. It's incredible. Anyway, continue, please.
在船上就遇到一个瘫，什么叫瘫子？就不能站起来，就是在那个蹲到那个地方，往前这么用个拐杖啊。
On the boat, I met a paraplegia. What is a paraplegia?
I think paraplegic, not plegia.
Paraplegic. He couldn't stand up. He had to squat at that place.
这么往前，这么走路，蹲着走，从蹲着走路嘛。
He used this cane to move forward. He walked forward like this. He squat walked like this. Squat walked.
蹲着走路。我给你们，你们会是听不懂。Yeah， 就是这么样。看他们短一点啊。要用的一个拄杖，走得很辛苦。
Let me illustrate more. Maybe you don't understand. Yeah, like that. He had to use his cane. It was very tough for him to walk.
我看这个人呢，姓什么？我现在都忘了，忘了这个人的名字，咱们以前都记得。我就问他，我说你为什么这样走路呢？为什么不站起来走路呢？他说
I looked at this person. I forgot his surname now. I forgot his name. I probably remembered it in the past. Then I asked him, why do you walk like this? Why don't you stand up to walk?
他以前是一个走私的人，走私，什么叫走私呢？就是政府啊，不准他做这个事情，他做，好像现在贩毒啊。
He said that in the past he was a smuggler. He smuggled. What is a smuggler? That is, the government doesn't allow this, but he would do it.
贩卖鸦片烟呢，麻花呢，这就叫走私。那么当时他不是贩卖这个，他贩卖什么呢？煤。
It's like drug trafficking now. To sell opium or marijuana is all smuggling. But at that time, he didn't sell those. So, what did he sell?
煤炭，就是烧火那个煤炭。这种煤炭呢，就是烧火用的那种东西。
Coal, the type of coal for burning. That kind of coal. The stuff for burning.
政府啊，当时统治这种东西，不准私人买卖。那么他呢，就私人。
At that time, the government monopolized this stuff, not allowing private individuals to buy and sell.
弄一点这个东西就去卖呀，卖赚一点钱呢，好维持家里的生活。
But he privately got some of this to sell, to make a little bit money, to make ends meet.
他是个湖北人，这湖北和汉口这都是在一个码头那个地方。
He was from Hubei. Both Hubei and Hankou have piers.
他说他贩卖这个煤炭呢，就被政府给捉去就拿去了。
He said that he was selling this coal and got caught by the government. He got caught. The government took him.
抓去就放在那个监牢里头，监狱 jail, put in jail.
Captured him and put him in jail. Jail, put him in jail.
他在监狱里头啊，那个地啊很潮湿的，就受这种潮湿啊，所以就这个腿弯弯就站不起来了。
When he was in jail, the ground there was very moist. He endured the moisture, therefore his legs were bent, and he couldn't stand up anymore.
我一看呢，他这个不是潮湿，潮湿就是不干。
I took a look. His problem was not due to moisture. Having moisture means it was not dry.
我看他这个病呢，不是潮湿的关系，什么关系呢？是有。
From what I saw, his disease was unrelated to moisture. So what caused it?
In general, it's a speech pattern. So he uses That's in order to collect his thoughts. So we really don't need to translate But this is his way of talking, okay, and doesn't add any meaning to it. So I don't need to change. The next time you see an R in English, just ignore it.
业障鬼跟着他，就叫他这样子。本来我想啊，可以随时就叫他好了，这个病。
There was a ghost that he had harmed in his past lives that was following him, and it made him like that. Originally, I thought about curing his disease at that time.
Stop. As I was listening to this story, when he started talking about this old man here, I remember vaguely hearing of this story before, and how later he would tap on his head or something, and threw away the cane, and he walked, stuff like that. And as I was listening for this second time or third time, I thought, oh wow, this story is not physical, actually it's mental. And I didn't dare say anything because I didn't want to make a fool of myself. Because he said here in slide 135, it's caused by the ghost. Lo and behold, it's not physical at all. It's because his legs are not strong enough. It's just the ghosts, okay, that made him feel that the legs were not strong enough. Isn't that interesting? Huh? See, you guys have no clues how the world really is. Sometimes it's not physical at all. It's a ghost that says, no, you cannot stand up. No, you have to squat. And you believe it. So in order for him to cure, because I was curious, how can he cure a physical thing just like that? It's pretty impressive if he did that, from grow ligament like that in seconds or minutes or something. It's pretty impressive. But as I thought, it probably could be that is the ghost that caused him to believe that he could not walk. And the ghost made him believe he has to squat in order to walk. Okay? If that's the case, to cure him that quickly is possible. Okay? Anyway. What do you know? Learn something new every time. Even though I heard of this maybe for the third time, now all of a sudden it became clear to me. Go on, please.
但是我一想，如果教他好了，这船上有100多人，那个就有很多麻烦呢，我也不管他。
But on second thought, if I cure him, there were over 100 people on this boat. There would be lots of trouble. But I didn't care.
在这个船走，我预料啊，我想这一天可以下午2点钟可以到汉口。
At the bow of the boat, I estimated that we could arrive in Hankou at 2 o'clock in the afternoon that day.
在上午8点钟，我在那个船上边那坐着，这个人又从我旁边走过来说，我就问他。
I was sitting on the deck of the boat, 8 o'clock in the morning, when this person walked by me again. He walked by me.
我说：“哎，你愿不愿意好啊？啊？你这个腿，你愿不愿意能站起来呀？”
I asked him, "Would you like to be cured? Your legs, would you like to be able to stand up?"
当然我愿意了，我愿意站起来走。我说你愿意？
Of course I would like to. I would like to stand up to walk.
你站起来走啊，把你那个拐杖啊，杖扶着，在那棍子掉到长江里去，掉到那个江里头。
I said, "If you want to stand up to walk, throw your cane. Throw that cane, that stick, into the Yangtze River. Throw it in the river."
他说我现在就凭着它才能可以走路啊，我要没有它就不行了，不能往前走了。
He said, "But I can only walk because of it. Without it, I can't walk forward."
哎，我说我叫你好嘛，你看这么舍不了这么一个木头棍子。他说真的？我说我骗你干什么啊？
Didn't I say I will cure you? You see, how come you can't let go of a wood stick? He said, "Really? Why would I lie to you?"
于是乎，他就把这个棍子果然就掉到那个水里头去了，掉到长江里，掉到长江里了。
Therefore, he did drop the stick into the water, dropped it into the Yangtze River, dropped it into the Yangtze River.
在这个时候，我就用手给他这么抚摸这个膝盖，怎么样？抚摸膝盖大约有半个钟头。我你。
At that time, I rubbed his knees with my hand, rubbed his knees for about half an hour.
站起来， 哎，问题一看，果然站起来了。我说你走，啊，他就走；我说你跑，他就跑。
I said, stand up. I took a look. Sure enough, he stood up. I said, walk. He walked. I said, run. He ran.
啊，就好像有催眠术似的，有催眠术，有那个催眠术，他们有那一种的，叫你睡觉，叫你走，叫你走。
It was like using hypnosis. Hypnosis is a method to cause you to fall into sleep quickly.
这样子啊，催眠术就是叫你快一点睡觉那种。啊，就他好像就中了催眠术了似的，就是我叫他走他就走，叫他跑他就跑。
It was as though he was hypnotized. I told him to walk, and he walked. I told him to run, and he ran.
他这一跑，这有半个多月，人人都知道他不能走路的，啊，所有的船上人家都知道，一看。
Once he ran. It had been half a month, so everybody knew he couldn't walk. Everybody on the boat knew. They all knew that.
Okay, so you see, it's interesting to keep on hearing these stories, and as I heard it now again, I begin to see what happened. I begin to form an idea of what really happened, and just my interpretation. Okay, what I learned is that he was rubbing the guy's legs and knees for about half an hour. Okay, that means that he was very gentle. He could have done it a lot quicker, but he chose to do it for half an hour in order to convince the ghosts to leave the man without being too forceful, if you will. Okay? So that's interesting. So eventually, those of you who will eventually be able to do that, develop skills to do that, you understand that sometimes you have to be gentle. Sometimes you have to give the ghosts a chance, time to realize that they should cooperate. Otherwise, they get hurt. Okay? So that's what happened. My only objection to this is that it's just fascinating how Master Hsuan Hua will go around and heal people like that. My only objection is that if I were to help this person, okay, if I could help this person, I would rather not say I'm the person who's helping him. Because what happened is that you help him walk, you help him run, and then what? He goes back to smuggling again. So what's the point? Yeah. So, and then you have to reveal yourself as, I'm the healer. So now we have a boat full of people who's going to come to him and harass him and say, hey, how about me? And so now he has to heal a bunch of people. He has to wait for 2 days until there's 2 days left or time is running out for him to heal the old man. So you have to make him suffer, okay, for a while. And then he decided to reveal himself as a healer. So now he expects the boat full of people to line up and for him to heal them. Okay, so it is a lot of hassle he chose to walk into. Okay, for what? After they heal, they're going to forget about him. And then they don't even remember his name anyway, can't find him anyway. Okay, but it's a pure spirit of the bodhisattvas. When he has a chance to help, he helped. And he was able to help. Okay, If you students in the future are able to do this, don't do it like him. I would not recommend it because it's not. It could be better, if you will. Okay. If I were to do it, if you were to do it in the future, and you're able to heal and this person in this way, for example, if you were at all able to do that, then a better way would be old man, old monk. What is a better way?
Theo con thì mình chỉ cái người đó sám hối, thương lượng với cái quan gia của họ.
To me, I will advise that person to practice repentance and compromise with the past creditor.
Not compromise, negotiate.
Negotiate with the past creditor.
Okay, anyone else? What would you do? Come on, you've been here for some time now. You must have heard of plenty of Dharma doors. What else can you do? 5.
Mô Phật và Thầy, Ngài đó không ai nào mà Ngài cũng chữa được. Có khi đó cái con người đó Ngài nhìn ra Ngài thấy được cái tâm tất cả con người hết. Giống con đưa người ta đi giảng Phật thành, Thầy đi lên một cái xe đó, Thầy cũng 40-50 người. Thì ai nào cũng có bệnh hết, bệnh này bệnh kia. Mà đi đó thì hy vọng cái người đó đi lên trển để cho Ngài chữa cho hết đó. Mà đi cũng đâu có gặp được Ngài đâu. Mà Ngài biết hết đó. Là một cái xe đó 40-50 người vậy đó. Chỉ có 1-2 người đó đi là có hiệu quả thôi. Còn một mớ đi thì cũng không có hiệu quả gì hết trơn. Thì có người nói là ổng linh, có người nói không có linh. Mô Phật.
Master, from what I see, Master YongHua doesn't really cure everyone because he can see through the mind of everybody. So, like for example, I took people to CCTV. There were about 40-50 people on the bus, and then everybody had illnesses, and then they all hoped to see Master and have Master cure them. But in the end, there were only 2-3 people got a chance to get cured by him, and then the rest didn't. And then some people even say like, oh, he's not, what do you call, linh ứng?
He's not magical.
He's not magical.
Can't heal people. Okay, sure, it's the case. You don't necessarily. It's up to him to decide who he wants to heal, who he shouldn't heal, or who can be healed, who cannot be healed. That's sometimes not up to him either. Okay, and it's true. The reason being that bus full of people, most of them are there for a free ride, okay, and they went up to seek help, and then they are like leeches. They just get help because they hurt. They could get help, but they didn't really believe at all, okay. Whereas a couple of people really believe, and were very sincere. He said, yes, this is great Bodhisattva, I'm coming up here, hopefully he'll heal me, okay? And he would heal those people because it helped deepen the faith. Okay, that's why. But most of them were just there for the free ride. That's why they get what they deserved, okay? In this case here, of course, we want to run along here. In this case here, there's no need for him to reveal himself. Okay? Yes, it's true that if he's able to help, he should help. However, there's no need to reveal himself. He could have rubbed his the guy's legs and knees and say, I tell you what, let's recite Wanyin Bodhisattva's name together, Medicine Master Buddha's name together, and hopefully we get help. We get some miracles from these great beings. And let's do it for 20 minutes, half an hour. And sure enough, the guy would walk. And it's a lot better for that guy and for a lot of people, because now they said this magical thing happened because of Wanyin Bodhisattva, of Medicine Master Buddha. Isn't it better? Because once he's gone in the future, some of them, instead of trying to look for him, they would recite Wanyin Bodhisattva's name or Medicine Master Buddha's name. Okay, instead of being stuck with a monk. Yes, 3.
Master, isn't that better? What you just said, because if not, then it'd be you could take on their karma and their karmas if you try to heal people like that.
Absolutely. Whether you recite Wanyin or Medicine Master Buddha, and that's how it works, you still have to carry the burden as well. This is what the monks and nuns are foolish into thinking that, I'm going to impress people by telling them that I'm going to heal you by, and happen. I've seen a lot of monks and nuns do this because that's what they need this in order to inspire faith in the followers. So we say, I tell you what, let me heal you. And what they actually do is that they pray to Wanyin Bodhisattva, they pray to Medicine Master Buddha, they pray to some Buddha Bodhisattvas, okay? And then they have some results. And that's why they are able to build temples, they're able to get food, they're able to get support. It's understandable. However, what they also find out, these people, okay, is that their body becomes sick as well. It's not free. Okay, and no one is spared. When you help heal someone, even by praying to Medicine Master Buddha or Wanyin Bodhisattva or Universal Worthy or the Buddha, Amitabha Buddha, you name it, you still have to bear the burden. Okay, I won't go into the great details for you, but I just want to warn you that every time we meddle, that's the word meddle, we help people and try to provide relief in suffering, from suffering, you have to bear the burden. This is Mahayana. It's not free. And that's why in Mahayana we understand that. And that's why we practice vigorously so that we are able to help more and take on more burden. You carry more weight, you see. It's not a wishful thinking at all. You want to help people, it's about the ability to lift them, to carry them, to carry their weight. So it takes strength, it takes endurance. It's not like wishful thinking at all. Okay? So I remember seeing a child, throwing a tantrum. He's so distraught. Okay? A child, yay tall, and then he was throwing tantrum, screaming his head off. So what did the mother do? She lifted him up, okay? She said, yes, okay, baby, honey, mom is here. Put it on her shoulders and say, oh, honey, okay, it's okay, okay, and calm him down, okay? You see, in that simple act there, it's so clear that the mother, in order to help her child, must be able to lift the child up. That takes strength right there. Okay? You want to help people, you need to have the strength to do it, to carry the weight, to carry the burden. Okay? And put him here. Put in here is that now, the affliction of the child, guess what? Goes to her. It's not free. Okay, so that's why lots of monks and nuns use this as a dirty trick. It's their secret to help people and inspire faith, but they end up being very, very sick quite often. Okay, it's not uncommon at all. No, Master Hsuan is not above it. He also became very, very sick himself. Go ahead, 9.
Thank you, Master. I agree with you, of course, that there's a wisdom to discretion in a situation like this. However, I don't know if it's my thinking, I'm sure it's my thinking mind, but there also must be wisdom too in a marketing aspect of someone like great Master YongHua being a healer that people know about. If people didn't think of him as, or I should say this, when people thought of him as a powerful monk with spiritual penetrating powers, Buddhism gets attention, belief gets awakened, excitement happens. There's an energy and a passion around something that's happening now that people can identify with and maybe even strengthen their belief. So I don't know where the line or the balance or the, dare I say, middle way would be with something like this. But I think there's also a wisdom to announcing yourself when you can do something.
I'm shocked. And these are the seeds for treachery. I hope it stops right here. It should not continue. The seeds of rebellion and disagreement with Master in public. You heard, you don't vent the dirty laundry in public. We are the family, you do in the backyard, not in public. I cannot believe it. What about, you talk about, what about good reputation? What about my reputation? My bad reputation? It's a wrong time to bring up the good reputation and pay for it by bad reputation. Xianjie, you're enjoying this too much. Okay. Well, just to take the high road, there's always, different ways to spin it, You are right. It's right. You're right in the sense that, yes, you can attach a name, a person, a live person to this magical thing, this miracle thing. Yes, would help tremendously, okay, for inspiring people. Okay, there's always that good side, and that's what he did, because it helped me, because he's so indiscriminate, to be honest with you. He helped people left and right. I mean, it's like small change for him. Hey, I help you, hey. What's the big deal? People, huh? So I can see why it's very useful in that sense, okay? However, it creates this image for us monks and nuns that's okay to show off. And it's not okay to show off. Okay? In Mahayana, we in our path, we don't need people to know we're helping at all. There's no need for that. The Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, they're helping people left and right, every single day, everywhere in the universe. Do they know? Not at all. 90% of them don't even know. 95% of the people who get help don't even know we're helping. And that's our cultivation. We're not supposed to draw attention to ourselves. Okay, especially he is so powerful. That when he does that, it causes problems for what? For who? The other monks and nuns. Xu Lao, Xu Yun, Master Xu Yun would have a problem because he's more powerful than Master Xu Yun. Master Xu Yun is a patriarch, and he's more powerful than a patriarch. Okay, so Xu Yun has no choice but name him next patriarch. Okay, so I feel that you're right in that sense from a worldly perspective, practical perspectives. I can see some real great benefits, but it's not about worldly perspective. I'm more concerned about his cultivation. He's no Buddha yet, and it's not pure to help and let people know you're helping. It's not our path at all. Okay? And sometimes you need to do that, but you don't do it indiscriminately. And that's why the point I'm trying to make is that if you're able to really do this, you should be very low-key. You should not even let people know. Okay? And that's what bodhisattvas do. I feel he's a little bit indiscriminate, and it helped me personally, and you're right. I agree with that point. It helped for people like me who say, oh wow, this guy must be something else. I mean, he has so much he can go around and just throw his weight around like that. I mean, it clearly is just very special, unique, and it helped me personally. I agree with that. It's just from a cultivator perspective, I don't think it's advisable for him to do that for his followers, not people like me. I was a leech. When I heard this, I thought, okay, let's go and draw near him and see what we can get out of him, because he gives it away for free anyway. Why not? Okay. And it's a problem to me, to his disciples, that now I should do it too. It's okay to draw attention to ourselves. It's okay to show off. Okay? It's okay. It's to show our superiority, and demonstrate our superiority, reveal our superiority. That's not healthy for the Sangha, for the other monks and nuns. It's not. Causes problems for them. Suppose he's become real famous, okay? Yeah. And then people give him a lot of money and a lot of temples and so forth. That's what usually happens. And what happens to poor monks like us? We have no chances to get offerings at all. When we really need offerings, he doesn't. See? So have a look at the big picture. You say, yes, it helps some people. Leeches like me, yes, it did help me, I admit. Okay, but I feel overall for the Sangha in general, it's not helpful. Okay, I'm more concerned about the monks and nuns who have no skills. How are they going to survive? Because people have so much money. If they donate to him, they have nothing left for the monks and nuns who really need the support, when he doesn't. That is what I'm getting at. 3.
Master, that part about when Master Xinhua was healing the person, is that similar to the images of Jesus Christ healing people with his hands?
Very similar, except that Jesus doesn't have, and I'm going to offend the Catholics and Christians again, except that Jesus didn't have the skills. Jesus is not anywhere near the skill level Master Xinhua has. Nowhere near, I assure you. Okay, And if Jesus is able to help, maybe he's able to help a little bit, or he received help from the bodhisattvas too. Okay, bodhisattvas do not hesitate to help them as well. The bodhisattvas, as far as I know, will go help the Catholics, the Christians, their gods, their prophets, and so forth. That's what they do. I'm sure, and again, don't get offended. I'm sure that they assign bodhisattvas just to do that. You know why? In order to prop them up, make sure that they have enough support to fight the demons. Okay? We'd rather do that than have the demons run wild. Okay? So yes, if they sometimes they need miracles. Yes, definitely, we help them produce miracles. I feel if I could, I would do that in order to help them. Their followers have faith in God, have faith in Jesus. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a good thing to have faith in God and have faith in Jesus. Okay, it's good because they're teaching goodness. They're perfectly okay. Because, look, the demons and the externalists are showing off themselves as well, okay, and trapping their own followers in a bad way. So for us to help, well, the good guys is perfectly okay, perfectly legitimate, perfectly commonplace, as a matter of fact. Okay, they don't discriminate, unlike us. They don't think, you're Buddhist, then you're not Buddhist, I'm not going to help you. You're not Mahayana, I'm not going to help you. Not at all. Okay, we're all in this together. What happened is that I graduated myself personally, from non-Buddhist to Buddhism, and then I started with couldn't understand Mahayana, so I started Hinayana, okay, because I understood it. It made sense to me, and get to the point where it stopped making sense. And then I said, okay, let's look at the Mahayana. So it's a natural progression. It's no need to worry about that. I went to churches. I love churches. I love choirs. They're much better than Buddhists. Buddhist choirs really suck. You look at Master Shenhua's music, Buddhist music, it's in his recitation handbook in the back, they have some kind of Buddhist songs. I said, what? This is an embarrassment. I would never sing those things. Because we're comparing ourselves to Bach, to Brahms, to Mozart, where they devote the soul to make an offering to God. It's no comparison. What we created compared to theirs. Let's not embarrass ourselves. I would rather go, hey, let's go listen to, the choir over there and have a good time and enjoy the music for the sake of enjoying music. Okay? It elevates your soul as well, makes you feel better about life. There's nothing wrong with that. And so why do you have to compete with them? I have no problems, buying ticket to the orchestra and they play, what is it? What's this time of year? They have something, Grace. What's that song? Yeah. Amazing Grace.
Amazing Grace.
Amazing Grace. God. If you hear Andreas Bocelli sing it, that blind guy in front of the beautiful church right there, church building like that, it spends, chills down my spine and say, oh, wow, I wish Buddhist music is this great. And damn, you're really inferior to these people. Let's have mankind, humanity, enjoy it. We don't have to always be center stage. Huh? And nothing wrong with admiring beauty and virtuosity. It helps them. It helps us. We don't have to have all the limelight. I'm glad the music is better than ours, as a matter of fact. Let's keep it that way. I don't want for the sponsor guy to create, a symphony to praise Buddha and so forth. Oh my God. You have to realize these people who created these symphonies, these choirs, they spent their entire life, they devoted their life to glorify God. Let's admire that. Let's praise that. Okay, let's enjoy that. Anyway, we don't have to be everything to everyone. What kind of nonsense is this? Yes, 6.
3 questions. The first one is from Daniel Vishnievsky. So we help others.
Is that the whiskey thing, guy?
Whiskey, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So he's Polish. Then he has plenty of attachments. Russian, okay. Then he's attached to vodka, not whiskey. Continue. Thank you for revealing yourself.
So we help others, but not heal others. It seems like helping is a form of healing.
Yeah, we help and heal, whatever. Yeah. Sometimes we help by giving advice and telling what to do. But even with that, they say, you should stop. You should stop. You give them advices like counseling. Okay, you still have to bear the burden, whether you use it words or you actually physically meddle with actual ghosts. It's the same thing. Every time you relieve the suffering, the pain, you have to pay the price. It's no such a thing as you can help for free and you don't have to pay the price. That's baloney. Yes.
The next one is from Yun S. Song. Master, could you please explain the difference between making a vow, a prayer, and a wish? How and when can I, as a layperson, make vows?
Okay, a wish is what it says. The wish comes from wishful thinking. It's a casual thing. I wish. Okay? So it's the lightest duty where when you wish, they say, I wish it comes true. If it doesn't come true, okay, tough luck. I wish again. Okay, I wish something else. A prayer is a little bit more spiritual. A prayer it's different from a wish. The wish is self-centered. I wish I could be rich. I wish I'm smart, whatever. Okay, so it's self-serving. You think highly of yourself. Prayer is slightly different. Prayer is that you recognize that there's a higher being than you. Okay, so to me that's progress. Even if you pray to Vishnu, you pray to God, you pray to Allah and so forth. Okay, it's the beginning of goodness because you are opening your eyes, your heart is open to the fact there is something bigger than the ego, yourself. So that's progress. Yes, 5.
Mô Phật bạch thầy, giống bây giờ người ta bệnh á, thì mình không có nên chen vào vô cái chuyện của người ta. Rồi đó, giống bây giờ mình thấy người ta ho, cái mình mau phải mình chạy, mình giang ra, giống cô quét vậy đó. Nghe tới phải chạy, chứ không cho mình đi nhìn người ta. Rồi ngày xưa đó thì người ta bệnh, người này bệnh, người kia bệnh, cái thì mình chỉ qua chỉ lại, cái khi uống thuốc nó hết, có khi uống thì nó có cái may mắn nữa đi. Rồi giống bây giờ, giống mà Hiện giờ bây giờ là bây giờ mình ai mà bệnh này bệnh kia mình chen vô thì mình lãnh cái nghiệp với người ta, mình cộng nghiệp với người ta, là hai cái đó làm sao mà giải thích được thầy?
So, Master, when we see a person that have an illness, like we should not meddle. Like, for example, we see someone coughing, and then we have to run away. It's like run away from the COVID. We don't dare to look at them. But like in the past, when you see people have illness and then you will give them advice, oh, you should take this medicine and that medicine, and maybe after they drank the medicine, it will help them. But now we know that if we meddle, we share the burden of the karma. So how do we resolve it? How do we explain it to people?
It's not, I didn't mean to scare you, okay? I just want you to have a clearer picture of cause and effect. I explained this to you not to discourage you from helping at all. And actually, it's just the exact opposite. I just want you to continue. I hope you continue to help, but when you help, beware that you're meddling and you're paying the price. Okay, it's perfectly okay to help, but do not delude yourself into thinking that you can help for free. No such a thing in life. When you help, you have to bear the burden. Okay, so that's the truth. I want people to know that because I hear too many people, very good-hearted people. They have these ideals that they want to help people, and I really love it. I really respect and admire these people. But they don't have the big picture. They don't have a full picture of what really help means, and that's unfortunate. Okay, and so I'm not discouraging. Again, I'm glad you asked the question. I'm not discouraging you from helping. I'm only telling you, trying to point out to you, helping is good, but be prepared to bear the cross, to bear the burden. It's not, you cannot expect to help and walk away scot-free, without having to pay the price of help. Okay, it's not wise to do that. That's all. Okay, so by all means help. Okay, but if you believe what I just said, then why don't you? If you understand that, then to truly help, it should help you understand better. Meaning that you really help develop the strength to carry more weight, more load, to help more. Okay? So that's point number one. If you're aware of the fact when you help, you need to have the ability to help, like Master YongHua. He can help these people, like the mother can carry the weight of a child, lift him up. Okay? It's obvious that you need to have the strength. Okay? And therefore, if you want to help, why don't you lift weight so that you can become stronger? Don't ignore that. That's point number one. Point number two is that you must, as a helper, you must be able to eventually develop the skills to resolve those consequences of your help. Don't ignore that. Don't just say, I'm going to help. There's no such a thing. When you help, they come at you as well. Okay? You're meddling. Okay? So that's all. So I'm not discouraging you at all not to help. So what is, how do you reconcile the two? You should have the big picture. Because most people, again, as I was saying, these people have wonderful ideals, but they don't know the big picture. Okay? And that's all. Yes, 5.
Mô Phật bạch thầy, giống ngài Hòa thượng Tiên Hóa đó thầy, hồi đó ngài tùy đi Vạn Phật Thành đó thầy, có nhiều người bệnh đi để gặp ngài, để cho ngài đó để so đầu, Nhiều khi người ta có bệnh đó, thầy ta nghe nó Ngài cũng linh lắm, để cho Ngài so cái đầu là hết bệnh. Thầy con cũng có gặp cái trường hợp đó nữa. Cái về đó thì người đó cũng đâu có hết bệnh đâu. Thầy là làm sao thầy, bởi vì bây giờ mình mới nghiệm ra nói là Ngài đó muốn trị bệnh cho người ta, người đó là cũng đầy đủ, có cái phước báo, có cái niềm tin, có cái từ bi, Ngài mới là giúp. Rồi những người mà như vậy đó, đi đó giúp đó, để về đây hết bệnh đó, thì người đó không có phước mà không có cái công đức, rồi thầy đâu có bao giờ mà giúp đâu. Mô Phật.
So, Master, I saw that Master Xunhua heal a lot of people. For example, he rubbed the head of the people, and then their illness is cured. And then a lot of people, they tell each other, "Oh, the monk is so magical. He's so wonderful." And then they went up there, and hopefully he will cure them. But I also saw a lot of their illnesses actually did not get cured. And then now look back, I realized that Sư Phụ cured people because those people, they have blessing, they have faith, they have compassion, then he helped them. But for those who doesn't have blessing, doesn't have faith, then they couldn't get help.
Yeah, right. Maybe so. But when she talked about, you see a COVID-19 person coughing, you see a person coughing nowadays, for example, especially with COVID and so forth, and you run away from it. If I were you in particular, if it's a COVID thing, inhale the air so that others don't get infected. Because you won't get sick. Others will get sick, but you won't get sick. You see, that's why you've been coming to the temple, because now you're at the position where actually you're not afraid of COVID-19. So if people cough at you, say, cough. Don't cough at others. People cough in my face. And let me suck all that in so that I can help others a little bit. Okay? That's what it's about. Don't run away.
Phật và thầy giống con đi chợ vậy đó, nhiều khi đó ít có đeo cái khẩu trang quên đó, người ta đi người ta ngó mà người ta liếc của mình giữa con mắt, rồi cái thấy cái người ho đó có mau chạy. Bây giờ cái thời 21 này đó là như vậy đó thầy.
You don't have to worry about it because you're not sure yourself. I assure you, nothing COVID-19 can do to you. Any of the variants are totally powerless against you. This is why you've been cultivating. Huh? Look, we haven't lost anyone yet the last 2.5 years. Actually, we help a lot of people with the COVID as well. Some pretty dire straits. Yes, 3.
Master is teaching Chan meditation, an exception to helping, because like they've during the suffering. So you're forgot what I was going to say. Was that like an exception because it's like they're performing a miracle on themselves as opposed to you helping them and taking on their karma?
How long you sit in full lotus?
How long can I sit or what?
Yeah.
This 2 hours was like as long as I could sit.
Okay. Maybe you should stop helping people. There's no exception. What do you want from me? Huh? When you help people, there's no exception. Whatever help you give them, you have to shoulder the burden. There's no two ways about it. However, if you teach Chan as per my directive, okay, as per my instructions, okay, I will help you shoulder the burden, so it's not yours alone. But you decide to go off on your own and say, I'm going to help people, I'm going to be a great Chan master, they design this app here, I'm going to help millions of people. These people end up being like this guy here, can't even walk and squat. He only squats. Okay? And there's a price to pay. Everyone has to do that. That's all. So yeah, there's a ways to help that's smart. There's a help, especially the people who are, they say, I help people and I make a lot of money helping people. Actually they end up paying the price. Okay? Yeah. All right, so finally on the question, we answer the wish, the prayer. I'm for prayers. I think it's a good thing to do. And now that you are safe and full yourself and so content with yourself, okay? It's very difficult to you to realize that, but at least for now, be aware that there's some point in life where you will run out of options, okay? You're powerless. Then I assure you, there are higher beings out there, whether it's God, whether it's Mother Mary, whether it's Vishnu, whatever, okay? There are plenty of higher level beings out there that you should pray to. You get relief, and you should. And there's no reason why you shouldn't. You try to solve it yourself. You try to fix the problem yourself, and you end on the road. The one thing you should do is consider praying. Don't ever ignore that option. Okay? So there are plenty of people, whether you from your Muslim, Islam, then pray to Allah, pray to a prophet, whatever. If it doesn't work, try the next person, okay? The next being, all right? Might want to try our Buddhas too, okay? But prayers are very helpful when you are out of options, is what I'm trying to tell you, okay? There are beings who are much higher level than ours. When I mean it, and you should, and they're willing to help. And in Buddhism, for example, especially those of you who are not Buddhists, in Buddhism, the very famous being that is willing to help anyone and everyone, especially when you're in dire straits, is Wanyin Bodhisattva. She makes her fortune, a name. Excuse me, bad habits. She made a name for herself all over the Sahara world by rescuing people when they are desperate. So when you're desperate, definitely try Wanyin Bodhisattva. Do not forget that, okay? Try your God, try your Vishnu, try your whoever, okay? But eventually, if you're not getting enough help quickly enough, try Wanyin Bodhisattva. It might work for you. I tried it. And it worked for me. Yeah. My master too. He tried Wanyin Bodhisattva. It worked for him too. All right. Finally, what is making vows? Making vows has nothing to do with prayers. Making vows is even longer term. Making vows is that you make vows. Either two cases. You make vows. You stupid. Okay. You say, I vow not to ever eat meat again. That's a stupid vow. Are you crazy? You're going to put all the great restaurants out of business. There's no wisdom in there. Okay? Yeah. Anyway, all of a sudden I was craving for sushi. Sorry. Yes, 9.
Thank you, Master. On that topic, I highly recommend people take a vow to try the Impossible Burger served at Way Mountain Temple Kitchen. It changed my life, and I still eat meat. I'm not going to vow never to eat meat again, but I have to say my favorite burger, and my wife can attest to this, is now the Impossible Burger.
Wow. Wow, that's cool. At a temple or at Burger King?
Of course, at Way Mountain Temple, whenever I can get it.
But Burger King, you get it every day.
If I'm close to a fat burger, though.
Fat burger is even better, yes, that's true. Anyway, I love fat burgers too. Well, anyway, too expensive for me. You know how long I have to stand in the street corner to pay for fat burger? What they say about, these people who sit, you Koreans don't know this. In America, in the street corners, they are people who, when the car stops waiting for the light, they go from car to car and hold out a thing and say, please give money, need money, I'm poor, I need to buy food for my family. And they make like $15 an hour. I heard of that. I said, wow, let me try that. It's not true. You lucky you make $5. I'm lucky you make $5. Anyway, I'm kidding. Yes, absolutely. You make vows, you make stupid vows. Okay, vows are meant to be made out of wisdom. You make great vows, proper vows under wisdom, then it's very productive. It's very good for you. If you don't know how to make vows, learn how to make vows. Okay, and then you benefit from it. Okay? So it's like everything else. There's always a plus and a minus. There's a flip side to everything. Great vows are wonderful, but then you don't know how to make vows. You get in trouble yourself as well. Okay? All right. Are we okay now? 6.
D whiskey is Polish.
It's not Russian. Who said Russian? Okay. Polish. Huh? Because south of Russia, he says. Beef stroganoff. Thank you for slowing it down for me. I said, I love beef stroganoff. I don't care what people say. I miss that flavor. Damn. Yes, 6.
From C.Y. Wong, it's good to help but not use magical powers.
Absolutely. When you help, you have to use everything you have to help. Okay? No holds barred. Okay? But with Master Hsuan in that case, okay, he chose to help and take half an hour. Number 1, because he wanted to drag it out. Number 2, he wanted to be gentle with his help. That's all. Okay? But you should use the tools you have. And this is why we teach you so many tools. Eventually, you get to the point where you have the strength, then you have the tools to help. Because if you learn China alone, for example, China alone gives you the strength. Okay? But you don't have enough tools to help sometimes. Okay? So that's why we're very lucky. Master Hsuan brought these tools from China to give them to us. And didn't give them to the Chinese, he gave it to the Americans. Yes, continue. 6.
From Derek, Master, if we go see a doctor, would it be not compassionate to the doctor for them to shoulder our karma?
Not at all. You know how much they get paid? I heard they're making like at least $200,000 a year. That's a lot of money. They should suffer a little bit, I think, for that kind of money. Remember, I stood by the street corner to make $200,000 like 5 years. at the rate I was going. I mean, hopefully someday I figure out how to do it well. Yes, in the back.
Master,
8.
Patients should be more compassionate to the nurses instead of the doctors too.
Oh, no, sir. I disagree.
No,
You know how much nurses make?
not really. I don't make that much.
You don't make that much? You work the wrong place. I heard nurses make up to $150,000. Some of them, yeah, the good ones make a lot of money, especially the nurses that help in the anesthesia thing. Okay, they are expensive. Or the nurses who do X-rays and all those things, they get paid very well too. Okay, but they go from, I heard nurses go like 65 to 150. Am I correct? That range. Okay. Yeah. See, as late as Google information. Like everything else. Okay. Doctors make $200,000. The highest paid doctors are surgeons. They are plastic surgeons. They make $450,000. Okay. Of course, if you have your heart surgeon and neurosurgeon, of course you get paid more, a lot more. But they deserve it. I imagine 7 years of training and internship, whatever, passing the board and all those things is harrowing. It's very stressful, and you could lose it all if you get sued for malpractice. Your entire career is over. Pretty tough. Okay, so it's high risk, but it's remarkable. It's a good thing. Okay, yes, 6.
From C.Y. Wang, Guan Yin Bodhisattva helps beings and make vows.
Help beings make vows? No. Guan Yin Bodhisattva does not help beings make vows.
No, do they help beings and make vows? Do they also make vows?
They who?
Guan Yin Bodhisattva
Guan Yin Bodhisattva, what does he have to make vows?
helps beings and make vows.
Does Guan Yin Bodhisattva make vows?
Yes, I guess.
I don't know, you better ask her. Next. Yes, 1.
Thank you, Master. You mentioned something about in order to help others, you say you have to build more strength as well as using proper tools. So when you talk about strength, are you referring to mental strength or?
Samadhi power.
Thank you.
Samadhi power is the base of your strength. So that's why it doesn't matter. For example, the externalists, when they practice meditation, it's for the purpose of developing these skills, these powers, if you will. Okay, and so they get very excited when they're able to recite a mantra, especially Tibetan. They recite mantra and make a pencil move, that kind of thing. I'm told by someone, he says, they taught me how to recite this mantra. Actually, after a while, the pencil actually moves by itself. I say, are you sure they're not blowing? It's true, they do it too. I saw that show. But they said, no, they actually can help the mantra orders a ghost to push the pencil. I said, what for? How does it help people? Okay, so a lot of these practices, they go after spiritual penetration, especially non-Buddhist practices, and the Buddhist Thais nowadays go for that as well. That is annoying to me. Okay, it's impressive. Okay, I remember there's a monk that Goyin knows, and you can ask her later, okay, for his name. Okay? The guy, I was driving around, okay, and the guy says, "Does the afternoon sun bother you?" I say, "Yeah, it's a little bit bright." So he says, "I tell you what, I recite a mantra right now so that you can take off your sunglasses and the afternoon sun straight into your eyes will not blind you anymore." I said, "Wow. Oh, yeah, please recite the mantra." So I recited the mantra, and lo and behold, I could take off my glasses and throw them out the window. I mean, not throw out the window. And lo and behold, yes, I could, drive into the afternoon sun. I could see very well without my eyes being blinded. And he told my disciple, say, "You want it too?" He says, yeah, of course I want it too. If Master wants it, I want it too. So we both can drive into the afternoon sun without being blinded. Yes, 8.
Master, my salvage car, like the sun's shield was broken, so I always have to look at the sun all the time.
Yeah.
Is there a way to transmit the mantra so that I?
Yeah, it's $20. Buy the visor, sun visor, only costs $20. So anyway, so he says, I said, "Wow, this is so impressive." And I didn't dare because I'm the abbot of the temple. I couldn't ask, "Would you teach me?" It's kind of uncool. So I hold my tongue and say, "Oh, I should ask, but I shouldn't, because if I ask, he's going to tell Goyin. And then the whole world would know." Then my master asked for the mantra so that he could look into the sun. So I bit my tongue, I didn't ask. And about a month later, the thing disappeared. It's a temporary thing. So it's kind of cool. But then, how does it help people? Helping for the Buddhists, okay, is to relieve long-term suffering, not to impress people. There's certain ethics behind helping people. Doctors help people. I love it when doctors says, "I want to help people. I feel good about my life. This is what I want to do with my life. I help people." Okay, that is so remarkable. Okay, I love it when I see people like that. Nurses too, by the way. Okay, nurses, good nurses. I want to help. Doctors help people and so forth. It's wonderful. Those ideals are commendable. Okay, not help people in order to get a name and to impress people. That to me is not interesting at all. Okay, so that's why I started by saying these Thai monks nowadays. I'm told that so many of them have so many tricks. Someone even, for example, this might interest you, monks and nuns. Someone told me a Thai monk says, "I can recite mantra so that when people donate money to me, he donates more money to me then." And he was very proud of it. I said, "Should I?" And then I thought of Goyin immediately. If Goyin heard of it, at the end of all my offerings. Yes, Goyin, 5.
Ngô Phật nói về thần thông đó thầy. Thì cái ông sư Thái đó thì ông cũng xài thần thông dữ lắm, mà chính là Quảng Ngân cũng thấy nè. Ngồi trên xe đó, là đang kẹt xe đó, cái ông cái tay ông quay hai cái là ở ngoài trước không có xe. Mình thấy cũng kỳ lạ ha. Tôi nói ủa chắc thầy xài thần thông mà. Ông nói không có nè. Ông sợ mình biết á, ông từ chối đó. Không có nè. Ông xích thầy thằng lắm. Đi đâu á, ông ưa cúng tiền, ưa đi cúng tiền cho sư đồ này kia. Ông lại nhà quả ngàn đó, cái quả ngàn cúng tiền cho ông, mấy chị em cúng tiền cho ông đó. Cho ông để sở phí đồ này kia đó. Ông đi chùa nào cũng cho hết trơn luôn. Tôi cúng tiền cho thầy mà để cho thầy sở phí mà. Thầy đi tới đâu thầy phát hết cho người ta. Ông nói không có sao đâu, chút cũng có nữa.
He probably knows the mantra, the money mantra. Yeah. Translation first.
So, Master, I saw that Thai monk, he probably used a lot of spiritual power. So one time in the car, I saw that we were stuck in traffic, and then he just make some hand movement twice, and then suddenly in front of us no more car, and then I was so surprised. I turned and said like, "Shifu, is that you?" And then he immediately denied, no, it's not me. And then this monk, he loved to make offering to the temple. Wherever he go, he could donate all of his money to the monk and nun in the temple. So, whenever he visited us, he stayed with us, and then we all gather, and then we make a lot of offering to him. And guess what? He gave away all of his money, and then I told him, no, Shifu, this money is for you to use. And then he said, no, don't worry, money will come later. And Master said, probably he know about the mantra.
The truth is that the highest amount of money he ever gave me, would you like to know how much? $50. So all the money goes to the other monks, clearly, not to me. Go ahead, 7.
Như Phật, con có cái cuồng băng mà Hòa Thượng Tuyên Hóa giảng về chú Đại Bi đó. Hòa Thượng có nói giống như thầy đó là mình muốn giúp người ta đó. Khi nào mình tu được tứ pháp không, nhân không, ngã không, pháp không đó, thể giúp. Tôi hồi trẻ đó, tôi hăng lắm, ai bệnh tôi cũng giúp hết trơn á. Bây giờ tôi già, tôi nằm một đống ở đây nè. Thành ra cái nghiệp của ai thì người ta chịu, chứ gánh không có nổi. Hòa Thượng nói như vậy á. Còn nói về chú phương tiện đó, mình thầy cũng cho tụi con cái pháp. Thì hồi thầy đi Âu Châu đó, thì cô Tính bị đem lộn cái passport, nó không cho vô. Thì gọi về biểu tụi con lựa cái passport đem xuống. Thì nó lấy được passport rồi thì ra vừa khỏi cái chùa mình chừng khoảng vài mai là dòm cái khuy quay 605 đó. Nó kẹt cứng đó, mấy mai mình ở xa mình nhìn thấy luôn á. Thì trong lúc đó bất ngờ thì con mới nói với cả xe không có nói chuyện nữa. Xài cái 15 đi. Thì không ngờ là khoảng chừng 5 phút sau mà xe nó dẹt ra, mình chạy một mạch tới luôn với phi trường lót, không có kẹt xe. Cái pháp của mình đó.
So, Master, I listened to Master YongHua lecture about the Great Compassion Mantra, and then he said that you should not help until you attain the emptiness of the four Dharma, the emptiness of the giver, the emptiness of the receiver, and stuff like that. And then he also gave advice he said when he was young, he was so eager to help people. So that's why when he grew old, he had to endure a lot of illness. And then he said that don't do it because the heaviness of the karma, you cannot bear it. And then at our temple, Master did taught us the mantra too, the Dharma. And then I remember one time when Master went to Europe, and then Venerable Xianxin forgot her passport. And we had to go back to the temple and get another one. And then after we left the temple on the way to LAX, on Freeway 605, you can see that the traffic was so bad that you can see that one car stuck to another. And then I told people in the car, like, hey, stop talking. How about we focus and recite number 15? And after 5 minutes after, all of the car just make way for us to move. And then we were able to make it to LAX on time. So we do have a Dharma to help.
Okay, so I want to tell a funny story about that guy, okay? That Thai monk that Goyin worships. So he goes around and have all these cool tricks, and he showed them to us one after another. So cool. I said, oh wow, you have so many tricks, healing this, healing that. So one day he says, I can heal illnesses too, not just to show off. I said, okay, so what do you heal? I said, so I think he healed Xian Shun, didn't he? You remember at Lu Mountain Temple? Who did he heal? A lay person and a left home person. Who remember? A few lay people and 1 or 2 left home people. Back then, we only have 1 or 2 left home people. So it's it's got to be you or Xian Jie. I mean that's it. Okay, it's you, I think. So he says, I will heal you. So he sit there and goes behind her back. It's you. And that's it. I remember now. It's you. And you forgot it because it's so traumatizing an experience for you. And so he's reciting mantras, and he beat it on you, and he beat it on the ground, and recites mantra, beat it on the ground to scare the ghost. And then it's not enough. He said, give me a knife. I said, say what? I said, what kind of knife? He says, give me a cleaver. You know what a cleaver is? It's a big butcher knife to cut bones. I said, okay, yeah, here's your cleaver. And he says, okay, thank you. So he took a cleaver, and he was going, approaching her, and said, oh my God, she's the only nun I have. And he flipped the cleaver around, and he started beating the back of the cleaver against her back, okay, to beat the ghost out. He says, we scare the ghost into leaving her body. So after all that, half an hour, with you or someone, he healed a couple of people. I know that, 2, 3 people, because you guys are so greedy. You say, can I go first? And after that, these people said, I said, how do you feel? He said, and these people said, nothing. And the guy was going like crazy, he was making noises and beating them and reciting for half an hour for each person, 20 minutes to half an hour. The poor guy sweating like crazy. Were you there? You were there. You're one of the people who were being healed. 4.
I don't think I was healed, but I remember watching.
It was her, right?
I think it was
yeah,
I think it was you.
She lies. I mean, she's only nun.
And then he gave us this little ointment. Do you remember? He had all these like little ointments.
Yeah, and put it on the eyes and everything else.
Put it on. If someone had something with their eye, and they had to. We were
I would never put anything in my eye.
I still have that little ointment, by the way.
I have.
He's the guy who doesn't wear a shirt.
Yeah, I doesn't bathe for 3 years. Yeah.
Right, that's right. He hasn't bathed for like many years.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, he gave me the whole back of those things. You guys want the eye ointment, I'd be glad to share them with you. It's about several years old, but it should still work. Have lots of them. Every time he came, he would give me some more. And never bother asking me, do you want it or not? He says, here, here's some more, some gift for you. Yes, Nai.
Master, I have a story to share about being healed at Lu Mountain Temple, if it's okay for me to share.
Sure. Xianon has healing stories at Lu Mountain Temple too. Oh, good Lord.
So
healers, outside healers, not us.
When I first was coming to Lu Mountain Temple, I had hurt my foot in the gym jumping rope, and
that's impossible.
It's called for anyone who's familiar, it's called plantar fasciitis. And you
sounds nasty.
You damage the fascia in your foot, and it feels like the first day I did it, it felt like my foot was broken, and you can't walk on it, and it takes about a year.
It's not a fracture
to heal. It's the fascia, so it's like a tissue that gets damaged.
At the knee?
In my foot, in the bottom of your foot.
Bottom of your foot. Oh, okay.
Athletes will get it. They'll call it turf toe. Because it's so much impact.
When you speak football, I understand what it is.
Of course. So I was minding my own business, looking for nothing, and Venerable XS said, Peter, you have to come into the kitchen. And I'm like, well, I'm always happy to do that. But there was I think she was Chinese. She was like a chiropractor lady.
Yeah. That's another of those healers.
And I had no idea what I was getting into. So I come into the
soaked
kitchen.
your feet, right?
No.
She healed you.
Yes.
Wow, cool.
And so
it worked.
Yes.
Wow.
So I'm just going to give the Western explanation of this. I'm sure something else was happening, but my experience was, she's like,
now all the monks in Korea are paying attention. Look at Bo Him Swinim. Look at Xian XG.
Pamyam Swinim. 안녕하세요. So she just says, like, she didn't speak English very well. I think maybe Venerable XS was translating. She's like, where it hurt? I'm like, my foot. She says, okay, give me foot. I'm like, okay. So I took my sock off, and she started between my big toe and like the toe, whatever you call it, next.
She's rubbing them, really?
Just the top. She starts pushing her thumb down.
Oh, acupressure.
And I'm like,
ouch!
What are you doing? She's like, does that hurt? I'm like, yes. She's like, good. And then she started pushing really hard.
And you were?
And I was like on fire. I was like, this hurts so much. And she just started smiling at me.
That's what Chinese people do. When we hurt you, we smile.
And then I'm like, stop. And she's like, cool, and kept going even harder. And it must have lasted maybe a minute. And then she says, okay, move your foot. And for the first time in like a year, I could move my foot.
Wow.
And then I put my foot on the floor and I walked around, and the top of my foot hurt like crazy. The bottom of my foot was like brand new.
Wow, cool, huh?
And from that day forward, I didn't have pain in my foot.
You believe in non-Buddhism?
Strictly Western perspective on what happened. I'm sure other things I couldn't possibly fathom.
That's true. It's cool. They have these things that can do miracles like that. It's not surprising. Yes, 6. Now everyone is not willing to let me stop. It's 9 o'clock. I'm reminding you. Yes, 6. I'm complaining now.
She's not from the same group, but the same group as Jane.
Yeah, healers. There are lots of healers out there. Plenty of healers. They're very good. They're helpful to a lot of people. It's true. They can really help. Well, anyway, let me go back to that monk. And then one day I realized that he says, I have to leave. I said, why? He says, I have to go to India because I need to go see this nun. I said, why? He said, because I'm sick. Why? He says, I have this throat here. I have this sickness here in my throat that I can't speak anymore. And I need to go see her every 2 years or so. 18 months, 2 years or so, where she fixes me. Okay, I need to do that. So I chuckled with myself. I said, so you heal people. You use your cleaver. Why don't you use it on your throat? Cruel, yeah, low blow, excuse me, yeah. And anyway, so I chuckled. I said, so you heal people, you can't even heal your own throat problems. And sure enough, he went, and then she helped him. That's what he does periodically. So that's the story about healing. Okay, and so there are lots of people out there who can heal. Okay, yes, 6.
From Jason K. He's referring to what Going said. It sounds like a deviant Dharma. If monks do this kind of stuff to recite mantras to get more money, will they fall to the hells?
Probably. But it's none of our business. If they do that, it's their choices. Who are we to criticize them? I would if I could. If you have mortgages, wouldn't you? I'm kidding. Okay. But it's, Jason K., it's not up to you to judge these people. What they do is what they do. None of your business. Stop judging people. You are in no position to judge them. They will have to undergo their own retributions. It's none of our business. Okay? Yeah. Especially the Asians have this bad habit of say, oh, this monk is good, this nun is good, that monk is bad, that nun is bad. That's baloney. It's none of your business. Good or bad, we'll take care of ourselves. We don't need your help. We don't need your interference. The Buddha has dharmas to handle those situations already. He doesn't need you, lay people, to meddle into our affairs. What do you know? Okay, anything else? Any other comments? Yeah? No comments? Okay. Anyway, good discussion. We stop here tonight. Thank you all. Good night.